Hey, what's up guys? This is Not So FX. Alright, so as promised, I'm making this video to show you guys how I traded EURUSD and how I anticipated the sell and how I am anticipating a new buy setup, right? Even though price is not there yet. I mean, we still have around maybe 400 pips before price gets there, but alright, so let me just show you guys how I anticipated this, okay? So, first of all, looking at EURUSD in the monthly, you can see price is bearish, right? Price is bearish, but and price took this lows here, okay? And price took this lows here, which is using the structure here. It pulled above the structure, breaking the structure, which is indicating a possible um, lower high lower high formation and price continuation, right? But then price came all the way down and could not take out this high, right? Price validated this bullish order block here on the monthly. Okay, so this bullish order block pushed price all the way up. I was expecting the breaking market structure before the retracement here, right? But anyways, so we have a nice impulse here. Price pushed away from the bullish order block on the monthly here, right? Leaving a fair value gap here before the corrective moves that are happening. This was supposed to push high, but then price failed to break, which was in line with the bearish order block. Okay, bearish order block here. Okay, so now we could see the correction happening and price hit that bearish order block the first time, hit the second time, leaving a nice double top at the monthly time frame, which is a very huge reversal setup. Okay, now what do we have in line? What we're looking at is this high here. This is high of June 2020. This high here, and if you ask me, that will be around equilibrium level, which is 50% range using the fib. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you can see that's around 50% range. Okay, so before I go far, guys, I like to tell you how I trade. I'm basically looking for liquidity. That's all I'm looking for. I chase liquidity because the market, I believe, the market creates liquidity. Okay, traps everyone to go the other way, and then they hurriedly or with an impulse go and grab liquidity. I mean, that's all we do most of the time. All these impulsive moves are actually liquidity pushes. All these moves you see here, liquidity push, liquidity push, liquidity push. That's all we see here, right? So not to get this video long, I'm gonna go straight to the point. So now we have price rejecting off the zones, okay, and we have a nice fair value gap here. I'm gonna indicate it with FVG. FVG, okay. Okay. So now we have a nice fair value gap here. This sell was anticipated around here, but then price kept on pulling up, and so now we have a nice fair value gap here. So how did we anticipate the sell? Going down to the weekly, we can narrow this down, and you'd see right here. I don't want to add so many lines. You can see right here how price rejected off this bearish order block as well on the weekly, right? Multiple rejections here showing price exhaustion, right? We're looking for reversals, and you can see this was the indicator here previous week. Okay, just indicator here, and this broke the low of this, right? This was a clear indicator that price is already on its way down. Also, we have liquidity, we have a low resistant liquidity here on this zone here. Okay, I always like to pay attention to where liquidity is, and it shows me ultimately where price will go before the next move, right? It's not a certain behavior, okay, because nothing is absolute in the market, but most of the time, more often than not, you get to see price go towards liquidity. Okay, so now we can see where price, we can see why we chose to sell. Now, first of all, we can see this rejection of the weekly bearish order block. Okay, rejection of the weekly bearish order block. Where do we go? Before I take a trade, I always ask myself, what's the destination? What's the exit? Right? How do I exit, or where do I exit? And the answer is very clear. The liquidity is where I exit. So I took this trade, but I closed it at 123 pips. Turns out it went over 200 pips from my entry, right? But I was okay with what I got. Okay, so now we're looking at price to get down to this FVG, but that's just me giving you a bias. Let me show you how we got into this trade. I think that was on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, on the daily, yeah, we still had more bearish order blocks being created and price failing to create new highs, right? Price giving us a nice shift here with this move. Okay, this nice shift here with this move created this in line with us, which was a nice point of view for us, nice POI here, right? So the retracement was a nice sell-off. Okay, so now I'm going down to the 4 hours. This is where it got really clear. Okay, so you can see manipulation here, price manipulation here, price breaking high previous week with a nice push, resting on the high previous week, showing buys, creating liquidity at the high, taking out the liquidity, shit back into the zone, leaving a nice bearish order block. I pushed at this trade 2 weeks ago and we took it in the group, we brought it all the way down here. So now this structures, okay, this break in market structure here was what gave me the idea price is leaving. Okay, price is leaving, it's not coming back anymore, right? And it's going down, it's going for that that FVG on the monthly. Okay, we've been waiting for that price for like 2 months now for this to happen. Okay, so we can see the first push, the second push. Now again, there are 4 criteria, or should I say 4 elements to a trade setup, right? For me, and this is my strategy here. This is all I look for. Okay, so let me list it out for you guys. So you see, so number 1, I'm looking for a trend. Okay, higher time frame trend, and for the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame is the last trend setup, the trend time frame that I looked at before, and I'll say, okay, I'm going bearish or I'm going bullish on this pair, depending on the structure. Right, so on the 4-hour time frame, in this case, it was bearish, right? So I look at the trend, and number 2, I'm looking for key levels, right? I'm looking for key levels. Sorry, I'm looking for key levels on this. Okay, and number 3, I'm looking for setups. Okay, and number 4, I'm looking for exit. This is all that I look for, guys. This is all that I look for. I'm going to analyze this so you see. This is all I look for. Okay, I look for the trend, right? And 4-hour here, you can see the trend is bearish. Price is failing to break. Price is failing to create new highs with multiple rejections of previous highs in line with bearish order block, right? Showing institutional order flow bearish, right? You can see most of the impulses are bearish, right? The bullish moves are barely corrections. Okay, so the impulses are bearish. This shows the big boys are looking to sell this market from this monthly bearish order block, which is also the weekly bearish order block, and the daily bearish order block, which is a huge confluence for me. Okay, now we can see breaking market structure creating lower lows, so we're expecting more lower lows in 9, right? So as for this trade on EU, this is what we looked at, right? So on the 4-hour here, I'm going to turn on my session breaks. On the 4-hour here, we had price close like this on Friday, taking out the low of the previous week. Okay, so opening the new week, this was very much expected. We were expecting price to come back to this low here, which is the low of Thursday previous week. Price went there, rejected cleanly off it. That was when I went down to lower time frame. I'm going to show you guys a trick that I use, okay, to find out possible OB zones without having to go down to lower time frame, right? But if you go down to lower time frame, we can then refine it and capitalize on it. I mean, it's a simple trick. Okay, every week presents like, okay, let's say this, right? This is a bullish candle rejecting, like a hammer, right? But then this week here indicates that price went bullish and came down bearish, which means there's a bearish candle here and there's a bullish candle here in the lower time frame. So all I have to do is mark out the wick. Okay, mark out the wick. You can extend it all the way, or you can just leave it here for a clean chart, and then you go down to the lower time frame. You can see on the 2-hour time frame is a gravestone doji, right? But on the 1-hour time frame, which was where I saw it very clean for me, which I also posted on the charts. If you guys are on my channel, you see it, right? This leaves a nice bearish order block, a 1-hour bearish order block, which was a defining factor for me, right? I posted this, and if you guys took it, kudos to you. I'd like you to send me a message if you took it. Actually, it helps me, keep pushing. All right, so on the 1-hour time frame, we have a nice 1-hour bearish order block. H1 minus OB. Minus means bearish, plus means bullish. Okay, so we're having that 1-hour bearish order block, and we can see also, right, in line with liquidity, right? I always talk about this. When they are consolidating, it gives them away. So you can see this consolidation here before price did that. Okay, don't want to mess up the chart, so I want you to see everything clearly. So I see consolidation before price broke the low. Okay, now this consolidation high started on Monday, right? So this is high of Monday. Okay, so now check this out. Now check this out. So we have high of Monday here. Okay, this is why I stated on my charts high of Monday. Okay, so we have high of Monday here, and then you can see how price consolidated at the high of Monday, grabbed liquidity at the high of Monday, and shifted aggressively below the consolidation, right? This on its own is already a bearish continuation setup. So the retest of that bearish order block on the lower time frame, or even on the 1-hour time frame, because this was like a 14 pip stop loss, I think. Yeah, it was a 14 pip stop loss on my broker. So but here, if you use all the way up, I usually go for the body of the candle, not the wick. So you can see it's a 13 pip stop loss here, approximately 14, right? So using the H1, the 14 pip stop loss is beautiful because where we're going is way down, right? We're chasing liquidity on the low, right? So again, another reason for taking this trade was liquidity that we saw here on the low of Friday and also low of Monday, right? I always look out for liquidity, possible liquidity areas, and where price could and the behavior the market is doing in line with going back to that liquidity area, and we could see how this played out, right? So low of Thursday here, you can see price consolidated before rejecting off the low of Thursday, and you can see how price rejected cleanly on the low of Thursday, leaving bearish on the block and shifting the low of the consolidation, then going back to the bearish order block and give us a nice rejection again with the bearish engulfing, right? So you could have set a sell limit order here, or you just wait for this and you take this, and it was very clean. When it happened, it was just beautiful. I made a video of it and I posted it in the group, and if you guys saw it, I made a video of entering the trade and how it just ran down, and this was a beautiful trade, guys. I hope you guys took it, and because it was just beautiful. I closed my trade here at 123, I think around 123 or so. I closed my trade here because the day was about to end, so I closed my trade here, and I didn't take this because I had to run the next morning, and so I missed this trade. This was just a beautiful trade, guys. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know what you think.